Yo, what's up guys? It's Jack and welcome back to another video. And as mentioned in my previous video, I was going to be talking about a Black Ops 1 Remastered wishlist. And my wishlist actually goes a little bit more in depth than what you guys may think. It's not just about nerfs and buffs and things like that. There's a couple other little ideas. And first and foremost, I want to thank everybody for giving me feedback in the comments section and letting me know what they think, because it really motivates me to make another video, especially when it comes to responding. And one in particular, I had somebody in the comments section recently say to me, you know, whenever I feel like playing an older Call of Duty, I have got my 360, I'll plug the game in and I'll play. And they're absolutely right. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that, and quite honestly, that's definitely the way to go. And it's it's a big reason why also a lot of people haven't gotten rid of their 360s or maybe repurchased new ones, like me. But for Black Ops Remastered, though, what if they gave you a reason to come back beyond just the 360 version? And please hear me out, okay? Here it goes. Now, I have myself a little list that I developed just so I wouldn't leave anything out, and it's not too long, but it's very basic, and I think it'll give people a reason to go to a Black Ops 1 Remastered instead of the old Black Ops. Now, don't get me wrong, the old Black Ops is what made it unique, but what if you had a slightly altered or remixed version of it that was, dare I say it, just as good? Or just different enough to where, you know what, yeah, this doesn't seem that bad. I mean, I could see myself playing this, you know. Well, what if they had something like that? And I'm going to go in depth here in just a second. Here goes. Now, I'm going to read off my list here one at a time. I'm going to read off one thing, and then I'm going to explain. Now, obviously, the first one is a playlist update. Obviously, Kill Confirmed was not in the original Black Ops. Now, can you imagine playing Kill Confirmed in the original Black Ops? I mean, I think that would be a lot of fun. Again, Kill Confirmed, in my opinion, not just because of personal taste, I just think it's something basic as it is. I think it's absolutely brilliant, and it gives people another reason to move around, and especially if you got score streaks into the system, which is another thing that I've kind of already spoiled, but I'm going to get into that as I go down the list. But it makes the game that much more fun and rewarding to play. There's more things to grind for, and that's what Call of Duty is all about, right? It's about the grind. It's not just about getting in there and kicking ass in multiplayer, or just getting your feet wet in multiplayer, or whatever it is. There's more to it than that. There's the grind, which coincidentally in this game that you're seeing here in Infinite Warfare, it's one of the things that's keeping me playing it. It really is. There's more to it than that, but the weapon grind is real, and I'm enjoying the living hell out of it. And I will probably say that by the time I'm done with this game, before the next Call of Duty comes out, I will tell you that I am probably going to be using a crap ton of weapons, because there's so many really good variants. But anyway, that's I don't want to go off on a tangent here. But the playlist update is the first one. Now, replace and balance perks. For instance, Second Chance or Last Stand or Final Stand, they're all the same crap. A lot of fans, and even Treyarch themselves one time, you know, they've said that they've kind of regret putting that in the first place, and it didn't belong. But what if you replaced it with, like, let's say, toughness? Or let's say you replace it with stalker or something like that. I mean, can you imagine having your favorite assault rifle, which Black Ops 1 is known for, and then using stalker so you can strafe shoot, which is absolutely amazing? I don't see a big problem with it. I kind of wish you can strafe shoot faster in the older Call of Duty games without it, but that's okay though. I mean, you can get used to it. There's no problem. I mean, everybody's going through the same thing, but if they left that as an option, I think that would be awesome. I definitely don't see a problem with it. And then just a couple of little things. For instance, Tac Mask only helped with Nerf gas or whatnot, or whatever the hell it's called in this game. Not Nerf gas, but it's this pink mist, or not pink mist, excuse me, green mist, whatever you want to call it. I can't think of it right now. I'm drawing a blank. But what if Tac Mask got upgraded to where, you know, maybe it helped with the tacticals? So, but anyway, let us move on. Instead of having a toughness perk, again, you can always eliminate flinch, which again is coincidental to this game that you're seeing here, because there's barely, if not none, flinch in this game, and nobody ever talks about it. Nobody really talks about the fact that there's no flinch in Infinite Warfare, which is something that we wanted in Black Ops 3, but we never got. there was a little bit of flinch, and it was it was definitely not the worst, that's for sure. But in the original Black Ops, if you get hit, there's a ton of flinch. It's pretty ridiculous. That paired with the hit detection that's a little off, well, there you go. And that's the next one on the list, is better hit detection. I mean, imagine a better hit detection in netcode for Black Ops 1. The hit detection is one of the things that is the biggest complaint for people in Black Ops 1, and I agree. Again, the rest of the game was so good that we kind of bypassed it, but at the same time, think about how much better the game could be if hit detection wasn't as much of an issue. Think about it. The next one is kind of something that Infinite Warfare kind of gave me an idea of, and that's what if you could grind for weapons beyond the weapons that were already released with the game. Just think about that. And think about it. And the next one that coincidentally goes with this one as well is weapon nerfs and buffs. Now, obviously assault rifles are king in this game, and there's a couple of SMGs, mainly the MP5K and the AK-74U, that are king of SMGs. But what if the other SMGs received a little bit of a buff so that way they can become competitive as well and viable to use? I definitely don't have a problem with that, and that's one of the things. There's so many weapons that are not used as much, so, I'm not a sniper, but what if the sniper's got a teeny weeny... Now, again, this may be absolute blasphemy for saying this, but a lot of snipers left the scene in Black Ops 1 because snipers were the hardest... Now, personally speaking, for me, I like for them to be left the way they are, but I know that the community, deep down inside, the ones that are fans of sniping, obviously, and prefer to use a sniper, would actually like to see the sniper slightly buffed a little bit. We're not talking about Black Ops 2 buff, but just a slight buff somehow, whether that's scoping in a little bit faster or whatnot, because let's face it, the sniping community is a part of our community, so what if it gave them a reason to play? Now, again, like I said, nothing broken, but, a slight buff that would make them... that would have them come back and to try those out a little bit. Let's see, what's next on the list here? Oh, yes. Now, these last two that I'm going to mention here are things that could be put in to make the game a little bit better or alter it a little bit, but they don't have to be. But I think it makes them interesting nonetheless, and that is implementing the score streak system instead of kill streaks. And they could change... Obviously, they can make everything worth a lot more, so that way they wouldn't be too easy to get or whatnot. And again, if you're going to play a game like, let's say, Kill Confirmed in Black Ops 1, and or what if you were to, and what if you were to make Domination, which was heavily played in this game, that much more viable to play and much more fun to play and make people come back? Because right now, even though Domination has a decent amount of players on the list, Team Deathmatch is still king, and there's nothing wrong with that. Team Deathmatch is always king in pretty much every Call of Duty and in pretty much every first-person shooter to begin with, for the most part. But what if they did implement the score streak system? And then, last but not least, pick 10, maybe? Yes? No? I mean, imagine a Black Ops 1 with a pick 10. Let's say you didn't want to use kill streak. Let's say you didn't want to use, let's say lethals or tacticals. Let's say you didn't want to use secondaries or something like that, and you were only a weapon and perk guy, like me, for instance. Or what if you wanted to use just those things and didn't care as much about weapons? You see what I mean? If one of the things that put Black Ops 2 ahead of Black Ops 1 from a certain standpoint, like this one I'm going to talk about, is the fact that they kept the basic formula the same, but they innovated enough to where people were extremely excited and they really liked the customization system. And a lot of people like Pick 10. Again, but this is something that's pretty much a question mark. It doesn't have to be put in, obviously, because Black Ops 1 is Black Ops 1 for a reason, and it is good for a reason. But what if you were to add these things in that doesn't change the basic formula of Black Ops 1, but makes it even better? Just a few thoughts in my head. So... and again, with the weapon nerfs and buffs to make other weapons more liable, mainly SMGs, or, nerfing the FAMAS, fixing Ghost like it was in Black Ops 2, all these different things that that I mentioned here, they can be fixed, and at the same time, when you remaster a game, it's a little bit easier because, well, again, I don't make games, but I do know as much that remasters don't exactly feel the same as the original. Like take Modern Warfare Remastered, for example. But what if a game was going to feel better than the original? And there's potential there, and I know you guys see that because I kind of explain it, and I see that, you know, there's definitely potential to be had here. So, and again, if you always want to go back and play the old school Call of Duty Black Ops 1, again, it's always going to be there. It's been around for a while. People still love the hell out of it. But what if adding some of these things, or even all of these things, or maybe even a few things that you guys can let me know, and you can add in the comment section your ideas as well. It's always welcome. What if these things were implemented to where people would say, you know what? Yeah, I like this. I'd go for this. Why not? So, but yeah, these were a few things that ran through my head. I thought it was a damn interesting subject to talk about, and it is a Call of Duty player's dream, because Black Ops 1 in the community is viewed as one of the best Call of Duties ever, and for damn good reason. And what if they made it better? You know, so at the same time, I know that I might be living in a dream world, but this is not something that's out of reach. It's not something that's ridiculous to ask for. So, and if it is going to happen, it's not going to happen in the old version either. It's going to happen in a remastered, granted they decide to do something like this. But anyway, guys, that's all I wanted to talk about. Let me know down in the comments your ideas, your opinions. What do you guys think? And as always, if you enjoyed the video, let me know. And if you didn't, let me know what I can do to make my videos better. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.